You're watching this because right now you feel overwhelmed. Maybe you feel lazy, stuck in a loop of unfulfilled days, or disappointed in yourself for not living up to your own expectations. It might seem as though every morning you wake with a heaviness, a weight that whispers that you're broken. But I'm here to tell you something very important. You are not broken. You're simply overwhelmed, caught in the maze of modern expectations and endless distractions. You might feel paralyzed by your own thoughts, but deep inside, there is potential waiting to break free. Today, I invite you on a journey that will help you discover why you feel stuck and show you how one deliberate tiny step can start the transformation. Pause, take a deep breath, and let that sink in. Right now, you might believe that laziness is your defining trait. But what if I told you that the feeling of inertia is not a sign of weakness or laziness at all, but rather a signal that you're overwhelmed by life's expectations, by modern stressors that mix biology, psychology, and culture into a confusing cocktail? Consider how our environment bombards you with constant notifications, endless comparisons on social media, and an ever-increasing to-do list. Even the most brilliant minds can feel exhausted by trying to keep up. Imagine a friend, someone who once struggled with insomnia and procrastination, suddenly finding that the root of the problem wasn't a lack of willpower, but an overburdened mind. Studies show that stress and lack of sleep can alter your brain's chemistry, making tasks seem insurmountable. And as you watch these examples unfold, remember, you are not the first to feel this way, and you won't be the last. I invite you to take a moment now. Think back to a day when you felt overwhelmed. Maybe you canceled plans because even a small task felt like a mountain. A wise man once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Let that thought resonate with you. Now gently close your eyes and list 3 things you felt grateful for today, even if they feel small. You might have been waiting for a surge of motivation, a lightning bolt of inspiration to lift you out of this funk. But here's the truth. Motivation is a fickle friend. It doesn't always arrive when you need it most. Sometimes it trickles in only when you least expect it. The idea that you must feel an epic burst of energy before you start is a myth that keeps you stuck. Instead, what if you discovered that even modest momentum, built through regular and intentional actions, could transform your life? Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." This isn't about waiting for perfection or that magical moment of inspiration. It's about committing to small, consistent actions that move you forward. Imagine an artist who paints a single brushstroke each day. Over time, these strokes become a masterpiece. Every step you take, no matter how small, is contributing to a greater whole. To help you harness this, take a piece of paper and write down one simple task you can accomplish in the next 10 minutes. It might be as basic as making your bed or writing a single sentence on your journal. What is the simplest, smallest step that could make a difference for you right this moment? Every monumental change begins with a tiny habit. It might sound trivial, but the nature of human psychology is such that small, consistent actions have the power to reshape our lives. Think of the water droplets that evaporate the mightiest rock over time. James Clear, in his teachings, reminds us that tiny habits compound into significant changes. When you integrate one small habit each day, you're not just building a routine, you're crafting a new narrative for your life. Consider the story of someone who, by simply choosing to walk for a few minutes each day, eventually discovered more energy, improved health, and a renewed sense of purpose. A famous saying reminds us, small deeds done are better than great deeds planned. Take a moment to identify one habit you'd love to see flourish in your life. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water as soon as you wake up, or writing down one positive thought before bed. Start with such an inconspicuous, yet powerful step, knowing that every tiny action is a brick in the foundation of the life you truly desire. You might have been paralyzed by waiting for the perfect moment to start something, a project, a routine, or a change. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion that only sets you up for disappointment. Think back to someone you admire, perhaps a creator, an entrepreneur, or even a friend. Chances are they achieved greatness not because they were perfect, but because they consistently showed up, embracing flaws along the way. Sheryl Sandberg has said, "Done is better than perfect." This simple mantra can change the way you view your daily pursuits. Instead of aiming to be flawless, aim to be constant. Embrace the imperfections. They are a natural part of growth. Now, take a moment to identify an area in your life where you've been waiting for everything to be just right before you acted. Visualize yourself taking imperfect action, perhaps sending that email, starting that workout, or writing down a rough draft of an idea. Knowing that every step, no matter how unpolished, counts can be incredibly liberating. Failure is often painted as the enemy of success, but what if it's the very fuel that propels us forward? Every setback, every stumble is a lesson in disguise, a stepping stone towards becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Think of Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His relentless perseverance until he invented the light bulb teaches us that failure isn't a dead end. It's an essential part of the creative process. Reflect on a past experience when things didn't go as planned. Instead of viewing it as a mark against you, see it as a moment of valuable learning. Ask yourself, what did that experience teach you about your strengths and where you might improve? Now write down one specific lesson from a failure that now guides you. Understand this truth: every great success is paved by many small failures along the way. Embrace failure as an integral part of your journey. Creating a life that supports your goals and dreams isn't about waiting for miracles. It's about cultivating routines and an environment that nurtures your best self. Our daily habits, the spaces we inhabit, and even the company we keep all contribute to shaping who we are. As Aristotle wisely noted, we are what we repeatedly do. Imagine what might change if, each day, you consciously designed your life to reflect the person you wish to become. Picture someone who transformed their entire morning routine, waking early, meditating, and exercising, and gradually discovered a newfound energy for every aspect of life. Now, I want you to close your eyes briefly. Visualize your perfect day, not in grand gestures, but in the comfort of small routines that inspire you. Write down 3 small changes you might make to your daily routine. Maybe it's waking up a few minutes earlier, or creating a clean, organized space to start your day. Each deliberate change is a building block toward the life you desire. Every time you choose to celebrate a small victory, you're nurturing a habit of success. Small wins, these might be tiny achievements that go unnoticed by the world but mean everything to you, are like seeds that gradually grow into a magnificent forest. Think about how saving a little money regularly can eventually lead to financial stability, or how reading a few pages a day can open the door to new ideas and opportunities. The mindset here is simple. Every little effort counts, compounded over time. As the saying goes, little by little, one travels far. Take a moment to reflect on your day and identify one small win. It might be as simple as resisting an urge to procrastinate, making a healthy choice, or even saying kind words to yourself when you needed them most. Make a note of it. Celebrate that win, as if it were a major milestone, and let that positive energy encourage you to go further tomorrow. Not every day will be drenched in sunshine. Some days, you might wake up feeling defeated, and nothing seems to go right. And that's perfectly okay. The key isn't to force yourself into relentless positivity, but to recognize that even on the hardest days, there are pockets of light waiting to remind you that progress is possible. Think of it like a storm where, despite the turbulence, you can still find shelter and small moments of calm. When you face a rough day, it helps to have a strategy. One practical idea is to list 3 things you're grateful for, even if they feel small or insignificant. Research shows that gratitude can shift your perspective and reduce stress, helping you navigate the darkness. Remember the words of Victor Hugo: "Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise." On your challenging days, honor the struggle while also looking for those precious victories that quietly sustain you. Discipline is often misinterpreted as self-criticism or harsh control, but true discipline comes from a place of kindness. It is about setting clear intentions and holding yourself accountable in a way that nurtures rather than depletes your spirit. When you treat yourself with compassion, you build a solid foundation of self-respect that makes every challenge more surmountable. Think back to the moments when you were your own harshest critic. Now, imagine approaching those moments with the gentleness you would offer a dear friend. Buddha wisely noted, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." It's time to extend that kindness inward. I invite you to stand before a mirror, look into your own eyes, and acknowledge the strength that lies within you, even if you feel at your lowest. Allow yourself to honor every small victory, every effort, and every stumble as part of your rich, evolving journey. Your dreams are vast and magnificent, and yet they can seem impossible when viewed all at once. The path to achieving those big dreams is not paved by grand gestures, but by countless small, deliberate steps. Remember, every epic journey is constructed of tiny moments of courage, determination, and persistence. The slow, steady pace is often more reliable than a sudden burst that fades all too quickly. Visualize your grandest dream for a moment. Perhaps it's an artistic endeavor, a career milestone, or a personal transformation. Now, break that dream down into the little actions you can take each day. Maybe it involves learning a new skill, saving a bit of money, or simply writing your thoughts and ideas down. By focusing on these small actions, you slowly, but inevitably, build the bridge toward that dream.